Strontium is unique in the periodic table because it's the only element that is named after somewhere in the United Kingdom. There are lots of elements that have been discovered in the UK, more than 10. It's not an obvious name like gallium after France or germanium after Germany. This one is named after a small village in Scotland called Strontium. I've never been there. I hope we might make a field trip there sometime.
So here I am in Strontium. Now you can see I'm on my own, I'm not with the professor or anyone else, but I have managed to find the address of a local history expert, so I'm going to go and pay him a visit. You know I've come to the right place, because look over there, there's a rainbow.
In this village, the first strontium salts were discovered, or at least the first ones where the element was identified.
So I have a sample of strontium metal, so it's kind of granules, they're very big granules, it's large granules, strontium metal. It's kind of in the middle of the group 2 metals. It's relatively soft, so what we're going to try and do is file some strontium metal off of the granules.
I've never seen the element, I've never seen any strontium, and because of my particular age, when I grew up in the 1950s and 1960s when atmospheric testing of nuclear weapons took place widely across the world, strontium has always had a certain sinister feeling to it, because when nuclear explosions take place, when the uranium atom splits, some of the fragments are strontium, and they're not only strontium, but they're a radioactive form of strontium known as strontium-90.
There it goes. The 4th atomic bomb has been successfully detonated.
This radioactive material, because strontium is in the same group as calcium, when it is floating around in the air, could be absorbed by people and incorporated into their bones or their teeth, in place of calcium, which you normally find in bone and tooth enamel. People like me are radioactive. Doesn't explain my hair, but on the other hand, it was quite a serious problem.
So we need to take some strontium ions, and in this case I've got a small amount of strontium nitrate, okay? Now I'm going to take a small amount and put it into a test tube so that I can mix it with some of our combustion mixture. Wow, what a fantastic reaction. Really, really energetic, lots of energy coming out, lots of hot steam, lots of hot CO2. And importantly, a lovely, lovely red colour from the strontium emission. Fantastic.
Technically, operationally, and militarily, Red Wing may be summarized in one word: success.
It's a radioactive element. When radioactive elements decay, they can damage the cells in the body that are close by. If it's in the air or something like that, the particles don't go far enough to cause any damage, but if they're incorporated in your body, there are cells very close by, and these can cause mutation which eventually could cause cancer.
Most important in the safety program was the ability to predict and hence predetermine radioactive fallout.
When atmospheric testing stopped, the amount of strontium-90 that was distributed across the world decreased rapidly.
This is a piece of strontianite. We got this from the mine in Strontium. Well, because albeit you can get strontianite all over the world, but this is unique because this comes from Strontium.
Strontium is useful as well. You can make very reactive compounds with strontium. That's what people like me are interested in doing, and seeing how they react. And they might be as useful as their magnesium counterparts, which are actually very useful in synthetic chemistry.
Strontium itself is an element which I think may become more important because as some of the other elements become harder to mine because the supplies are running out, I believe that chemists are going to discover new reactions of strontium in catalysts and things like that, and we'll realize that it has much more value than we've thought up till now.
Well, we're going to go up to the mine, and what we're going to do is we'll have a look at it, what's left of it, because unfortunately there's not an awful lot left. Now you can see straight ahead of you that there's another scar there. Well, that's part of an old road that was used by the miners. Now we're coming to part of the lead mine. I've tried to improve and educate people as to what happened in the area, and like most people who collect historical data, you become very, very passionate about this sort of thing. Probably I get so passionate that I'm probably a boring old fart or something, you know.
So this is one of the granules of strontium metal. It's kind of dark on the outside at the moment. Hopefully we can get rid of kind of that layer of tarnish by filing it. Is we have our strontium, so you can see where we're kind of sort of filing off that tarnish, the kind of very metallic luster. It's quite pretty.
So this is it. This is where the old lead mine was, but they found a mineral that was a little bit strange and they called it strontianite. And then after more work they were able to extract from it a new element, and that of course became known as strontium, and we have it now on the periodic table.